Prove your faith by your works, Murdo MacDonald-Bayne. Thy faith hath saved thee, go in peace. Luke 7:50. To sustain our faith we must use it, otherwise it dies in us. To realize what faith is, we have to see clearly our oneness with the Creator of all things, the Father, and I are one. In this way the Creator works wonders through us. The more understanding we have, the more His power is revealed. The Master says, "It is the Father whoever remaineth within me, he is performing his own deeds." Action is needed on the part of the individual who is acquiring faith. In James 2:14 we read, "What does it profit, my brethren, that a man say he hath faith and have not works? Even so faith, if hath not works, is dead, being alone." This means that to have faith only and not use it, then it dies in us. It is the use of faith that keeps it alive. Yeah, a man may say, "Thou hast faith and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works." But wilt thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead? Ye see then how that by works a man is justified, and not by faith only, for the body without the spirit is dead. So faith without works is dead. If you say then that you have faith, prove it by your works. You are known by your works and not by your faith only. This is the all-important point in this letter. Action is needed to prove our faith. We do not have to solve life, we have to experience life, and the right way to do this is through action. We have to train our minds to refuse suggestions from without that are contrary to the power of the Spirit that is life and action. Without action you could not be alive now, for God formed you and me and is ever active in us now, and now is eternal. With this cosmic wisdom resident within your own consciousness, you can back every action without limitation of any kind, when you know this to be true. The prophet says, "He who cometh to God must believe that he is." And the Master shows us that God is within us, waiting to come into action on our behalf, and there can be no mental distance between yourself and the Creator. What is mine is thine. Now move into action, knowing that God is now active within you and your affairs. You must be ever watchful lest your mind be caught up in the manifestation and lose the realization of the living presence that is manifesting in you. For if you lose the realization of that which creates, that which you create turns to ashes. It is the Lord thy God that giveth thee all things. We are allowed to ask whatever we will and are given the assurance that it will be granted, provided we play our part in the receiving. When we expect a meal, we must sit at the table. We must arrive at the definite and permanent conclusion by our reasoning that God is present within us now, before we can act intelligently. If you start out with certainty and then fail to continue in that certainty because the thing has not come about as you planned, then you do not understand that the divine intelligence is active in your affairs. The mind must be trained not to turn away, but to know that the one supreme infinite intelligence is ever active and knows how. The intelligence that is greater is acting on your behalf. This state of consciousness keeps the mind open so that the Creator can work in you to bring about the fulfillment of your heart's desire. But you must keep the consciousness open to the greater than I that is ever present in your affairs. Just wherever you are, there He is. If you can be conscious of this even when things seem to go wrong, you will prove your faith by your work. In your daily tasks, remember you are never alone. God works with you, for you can never be apart. If you will listen, He will show you what to do, and He works with you. It is a grand, grand story, and is the truest and most magnificent story ever told. So open your mind to His mind so that your greatest friend can help you, for He knows how. Even if you do not understand all, He will bring about things in the perfect way. This is the mental attitude you must have about your problems. If you are at peace about it, then the work will continue. But if you think that God has forsaken you because you do not get what you want, the mental attitude deters the perfect manifestation, whether it be a desire for health, happiness, or abundance. Acknowledge Him in all thy ways. Actions is the secret of greatness, for He alone is great, and He shall make you great also if you will but believe. Forget the self, for the self always stands in the way. Then your works shall prove your faith, and only by your works are you justified. The mind of man has not yet dreamed of all the good things the Father has prepared for those who love Him. To love God is to love your neighbor. If this love is not in you, how can you expect good things? Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. As much as you do unto one of those, so you do unto me." Faith is built upon constant awareness of the indwelling presence of God everywhere. This will give you the power to create without limitation, because you will be constantly alive in Him. In 1 John 5:14-15 we read, "Now the confidence we have in Him is this, that He listens to us whenever we ask anything in accordance with His will, and if we know that He listens to whatever we ask, we know that we obtain the request we have made to Him." Jesus and the prophets reveal God to man by their works, by their sayings, by their miracles, using them as a means of opening the door of the kingdom of power and instructing us to use the laws and methods they used, so that by doing so we shall do even greater things. By their works they proved their faith, by our works we shall also prove our faith. We are all immortal now at this very moment. There is never a cessation of activity in the infinite God, and we are moving in Him who made us like Him with power to become active in cooperation with His will. The Spirit of God is embodied in every living soul. This is the reality in us all. This is the foundation of our faith. Their love dwells. This is the supreme power of the infinite God, for God is love. Every part of space and every instant of time is in the eternal now. Since the universe is governed by love, love is the perfect law. This love acts on your behalf and opens the prison doors and sets you free. You may not know how it is done, but it takes place in the cosmic presence that is greater than I. The realization of the indwelling power of the greater than I becomes the magic power that carries over the stormy seas into quiet waters and beside green pastures. It soothes the doubting and troubled heart. It sustains our faith that produces works. In all humility we say, "In Thee, O Father of love, I dwell. I am protected by Thy eternal love for me." All great achievements are gained through action with faith. If you wish to accomplish, you must be up and doing, no matter what obstacles beset you, and there will be many. They cannot defeat you when you realize the indwelling presence of the omnipresence. The unknown must be faced with confidence. On the uncharted seas, make the infinite intelligence your guide. Scarred with experience, you will rejoice in your faith that has been proved by your works. All is well with him who works with Him, who knoweth all things. All the great of the past call to us now to free the spirit of adventure that is latent within us, and through our action in faith we will be about our Father's business. We shall forget our little selves. This is the only way. We must lose ourselves in others yet retain our own vision. It makes no difference now what you are or where you are. You will have found the one thing in which you can live forever. Now you can make others feel and live happily. This is the key to eternal bliss. You will have proved your faith by your works. Benediction. O Divine Mother, I was a babe in swaddling clothes, unable to talk or walk. I bleated in ignorance of Thy divine nature, but as I grew up I found myself. In the realization of my birth Thou didst open my eyes to the glory of Thy presence. The voice of wisdom was heard deep in my soul, and there in the crystal pool of peace Thou didst show me my face to be like Thine. Now even if I roam in the world of experience, I will seize these vexing perplexities and timid fears and banish them forever. O Divine Mother, Thy all-conquering wisdom is mine, for Thou hast shown me that what is Thine is mine, beloved Mother of mine. My peace and my love remain with You. Yours sincerely, 𝗦 MacDonald-Bayne.